Not aware of it, but were they really telling the truth? Here to react is former Milwaukee County Sheriff and senior advisor and spokesman for America First Action, David Clarke. Sheriff, great to have you with us.
Thank you.
So you heard there from Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She knew nothing about it. John Podesta, who was chairman of the Hillary Clinton campaign, also saying he knew nothing about it. What do you think?
Well, first of all, the next time that Mrs. Bill Clinton, John Podesta, or Debbie Wasserman Schultz tell the truth will be the first. It's their automatic default to just lie. Mrs. Bill Clinton lied going back to the Whitewater investigation when the files went missing and then mysteriously turned up in her office. She lied about Benghazi. This is what they do. They believe in this strategy of keep telling a lie often enough and maybe somebody will believe it. But you know what? The American people have come, the American people are all over this, and they realize that this is not just opposition research. This is not just politics. I know what opposition research is, and when I ran for office as sheriff, people did it on me. I did it on my opponents. But when you take and create a fake dossier and get that into the hands of intelligence officials who are conducting investigations on it, that's not just politics. That is corruption. America is through with these scumbags, and I wish they'd just exit the stage, but they're still trying to stay at the top of the political picture in Washington, D.C.
And, Sheriff, how much do you think the so-called mainstream media is to blame for this, running breathlessly with the Russia narrative from the moment the president was elected, taking this information internally and also at the FBI and weaponizing it? Is there any way to get past it when you've got so many people committed to a narrative already?
Well, let's sort this out rather than just say the mainstream media. Let's say the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, MSNBC, the Huffington Post. They're the propaganda wing of all of this corruption. They ran with that fake dossier story trying to smear President Trump. President Trump was right on this from the beginning. He said the Clintons were involved. He said this was fake news. And, you know, we look at it now, and it's just amazing that they continue with this pattern of lies and deceit to the American people. I heard a CNN report this morning, and they're now trying to walk this back, saying, well, some of it, what we reported was true, and some of it has not been corroborated. That's nonsense. They know darn well that there was nothing to this story, but they ran with it anyway. And that's why, from a credibility standpoint, these major news outlets, it's near zero, their credibility. People just don't believe what they read out of those sources or hear from those sources anymore.
Sheriff, one of the most important questions about the dossier moving forward is what was done with that information, and did the FBI, other law enforcement agencies then take that information and start surveillance of people like Paul Manafort, others in the Trump orbit that eventually led to the special counsel investigation of Robert Mueller? So as some Republicans are saying, was that information from the dossier unverified, then weaponized to go after the president? As a former law enforcement official yourself, how do we get the truth? How do we get to the bottom of this?
Well, you're going to have to have somebody other than Robert Mueller and those people investigate this thing. Look, I think it's a shame because the FBI is a proud organization. It had a lot of integrity until the Obama administration, Eric Holder leading that thing, came along. And I'm not blaming the agents for any of this, but people at the higher levels, the Robert Muellers and some others, they knew about this stuff and buried it, or they knew about it and ran with it anyway. And people need to begin to question Robert Mueller's ability during this special prosecution thing to lead this, because now his integrity has come under question. That's how deep this is, and that's why I use the word corruption, and I don't think that that word is too far-fetched.
All right, some strong words there. Sheriff David Clarke, good to have you on this morning.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.